Hi there, Anna here, founder of Curvy Yoga, here with you today for another episode of From the Curvy Mat. Today's reader question is one that is really near and dear to my heart. And the question is, how does yoga help with chronic pain? I thought I would share a story about my own experience with chronic pain before I talk a little bit more about how it works. So when I was 16, I started getting really bad migraines. And by really bad, I mean I had a migraine every single day for a year. So every day I was in a migraine. And it would ebb and flow in intensity for sure, but it never entirely went away for an entire year. So during the course of that time, I tried every medication. I was on painkillers constantly. I tried every test that was available, and very little helped. I kind of hit a point where I found a good enough medication regimen that I had them less often, and by less often I mean still like a couple times a week, which is a ton for most people, but for me was not a lot at that time. And then for the next about, I would say 7 or 8 years, I would ebb and flow through that process. So I would often have years where I had, one a week, maybe even as little as 2 or 3 a month. And then I would go back and have another full year with migraines. I had 3 years like that from the time I was 16 to about 26. So this decade of 3 of those years were just everyday pain. And what I had to learn to do was cope through the pain, and that is incredibly draining, as anyone who's experienced chronic pain for any reason or knows someone who has can relate to. It takes all of your energy just to be in your day in any way through the pain. So the way that yoga helped me with this process is after that first full year when I was 16, people were constantly telling me here's a cure that I heard about in a magazine, or I saw this on TV and you should try it. You should put a banana peel on your forehead. You should try yoga. And to me at the time, I didn't know anyone who practiced yoga. Yoga was by far less ubiquitous than it is today in the US. And so to me, the banana peel and the yoga were about the same. I was kind of whatever, I'll try it. So the banana peel didn't help me. If you're curious, I did try it. But yoga did, but not in the way I was expecting. So it wasn't like I did one yoga practice and whoa, angels were singing and I never had pain again. I wish that was the process. What happened instead is that through slowly teaching me how to reconnect and connect with my own body, yoga helped me to be able to better feel when a migraine was coming on. So I can't even tell you how critical this is, because up until that point, I would only kind of know once it was way too late. So I would be right in the thick of it and be like, oh, migraine, and then it's all just about pain management and trying to make it through. But by being able to fine tune my bodily awareness and start to notice this is the really subtle feeling that I have at the very, very beginning, could even be a day or more before a full-blown migraine arrives, then I could, at that moment, start to make a shift. I could go take a nap. I could put something cold on my forehead. I could do whatever combination of things I was going to do. And that helped me over time to not only decrease the number of migraines that I got, but also decrease the frequency or the intensity of the migraines that I got. So that was life-changing. Just being able to notice when they were coming on and make changes earlier helped me more than any medication, any test, any other banana peel type thing that I tried. So although it sounds small in some ways, I think, and it's not an overnight thing by any imagination, I think that that's one of the ways that yoga really can help with chronic pain, is by helping to cue into the body, even though in some ways that's counterintuitive, because when you're in pain, you're often the last thing I want to think about is what's going on in my body. I want to disassociate from what's going on in my body. And I 100% relate to that because I've been in the same place, and the same still happens for me when I have a migraine. but that tuning in can be really helpful. And then the other way that yoga helps is by activating the relaxation response in the body. So by getting us into our parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest system, it helps us to start to let muscles go that may be holding and just kicks us into that state, which is all about healing. So the more that we can activate that, especially if you have chronic pain going on, the better. So if you are experiencing chronic pain, I am sending you my love as a sister in that, in the past, and who knows, maybe another time in my life. And I hope that you can find some support through yoga for whatever is going on with you. If you have any ideas or stories about how yoga has helped you with chronic pain, I would love to hear that in the comments below. Thanks so much for being here. You enjoyed this video. If you know somebody else who you think would be interested, I would love for you to share it on Facebook or Twitter. Come hang out with me on the Curvy Yoga Facebook or Twitter page. And if you'd love a little more Curvy Yoga in your life, go to my website, sign up, and you'll get 2 free chapters of my book, Permission to Curve. Bye!